Today, guys, we're going to talk about the most busted Temporal Vortex team in Dragonheir Silent Gods, and rather said, the most busted hero in the game. Now, I do want to hear your thoughts as well on how do you feel about the character. This video is brought to you by Dragonheir Silent Gods, so I just want to say a big thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys are new around here, you're new on the channel, and you want to download Dragonheir Silent Gods, or you want to help and support me, support the channel, you can download the game by using the link in the description down below, or in the pinned comments, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. And yes, I am talking about Rook, guys, the corrosion hero that is added in Season 3. Now, I'm quickly going to show you my team. I'm going to show you what I have on them, how much damage I'm getting from this team. Without a question, is the highest damage I've ever got with any teams in any season. Plus, I'm going to show you some mind-blowing teams that are dealing over 1 billion damage, guys. You've heard that right, but we're going to get to it in just a second. So currently, this is the team that I'm running. I have Fenja right here, which is an amazing, amazing support. I have Frorbart. I have Dargo. We have, of course, Rook. And then we have Reyta, which, by the way, is one of the most underestimated legendary heroes in Dragonheir Silent Gods. She is absolutely amazing. In terms of skill timing, I do have a bit of a skill timing. I don't really have anything on Fenja. I have Frorbart going at 14 seconds on a 20-second cycle. Then we have Dargo going straight after Frorbart, because Frorbart will be the character that will apply defense down in our team. Again, on a 20 seconds cooldown. You need to leave kind of like a 3 seconds gap in between Dargo and Rook, just to make sure that he applies the corrosion in time. And then we have Reyta going at 21.5 on a 20-second cycle to extend the duration of defense down and decrease attack placed by Frorbart. As simple as that. So let me just quickly show you what sort of damage you can get with a team like this. The more you are into the fight, guys, the longer you are into the fight, the more damage corrosion will eventually deal, because you're building up that corrosion on the boss, and then Rook comes in and just deals a mind-blowing damage, okay? Now, the reason why I want to hear your thoughts as well, guys, is how do you feel seeing that we have a character like this in the game that has no competition, okay? Now, I don't necessarily do this video just to ask him to be nerfed or anything like that. I'm strongly against nerfs and stuff like this. I would like to see more characters being able to reach his level, to be honest with you guys. And I'm pretty convinced that the majority of you guys will be kind of like in the same situation. So just by snapping the fingers, we jumped all the way to 7 million damage. Yes, you've heard that right. 7 million in less than a minute. So if we are talking about other exclusive characters that we have in Dragonheir, let's just take, for example, Beldele, which was the Ice Blast added in Season 2. She was amazing. Like, she was dealing crazy damage. Nothing compared to Rook. If we're taking, for example, Flora. Flora can do pretty good damage as well, but nothing close to this. I feel like Flora and Beldele, they're on a similar level, more or less. I do think that Flora in a very good team can definitely out-damage Beldele. If we are talking about other exclusive characters, like the Dauntless one, she can definitely enable quite a few nice things, but overall, nothing really compares with what Rook can do. So right now, we apply defense down. We are putting the corrosion with Dargo. He does have a very slow animation. You see those orbs flying to the boss, and just see Rook jumping in and just increasing that damage by millions. Like, we just jumped from 25 to 27, and you're going to see much crazier jumps the longer we stay into the fight, you know. I do think that it's nice to have crazy characters that do absolutely insane damage. I feel like even though they fixed a bit Rook before the release, I feel like he's still very, very powerful. And honestly, it's pretty hard to fix him without kind of like killing him. I would assume you can definitely put a cap on how much damage the corrosion can do. And even if you reduce his damage probably by like 50%, if you put a cap on it, I still think he's going to be the best, you know, like even like that, he is probably going to be the best. Or maybe let's just not overreact and don't call it 50%, but drop like a 30% out of it and will still be very solid. And like that, other teams will be able to compete with him. For example, in the Chaos Shadow versus the Chaos Shadow bosses in the other world event, he is absolutely mental as well. Like, he deals tons and tons of damage. And yes, probably not many teams can come anywhere closer to that. And it's just because of how corrosion actually works in the game. I know we talked about it before in the past at the beginning of season 3, but I just kind of like wanted to get your feeling about it, your take, like, what is your opinion on having Rook as he is in the game at the moment? I'm not sure if by any means they are planning to do any sort of rebalancing. I do think that it's pretty hard right now to make a lot of rebalancing, considering that a lot of people spend their money on the banner to get Rook. I'm super fortunate that I managed to summon one, and I'm able to do some crazy damage in the Temporal Vortex. But you know what? I'm gonna fast forward from here, guys, towards the end where we're gonna see the total damage. But as you may see right now, we have Rook with 77.9% of the damage, guys. 52 million alone, while the rest of them are barely doing anything. So here we are, guys. This is my personal best that I've ever dealt in Temporal Vortex. 250 million. Yes, you've heard that right. And I could get more if I would have a better character to apply defense down. So if I would have, for example, a Whisk, maybe to replace Reta in the team, I would build the damage much faster. I would build the corrosion much faster. I would have a more reliable character to apply defense down. And probably I could get 300 plus million damage. I would assume so. But overall, check that out. You have Rook with 205 million damage, guys. 205. 82.1%. Then, of course, you have Dargo with 36 million damage. And the rest of them barely dealt any damage whatsoever. Let me just quickly walk you through the builds. Then we're going to have a look at some mind-blowing teams that are dealing disgusting damage. So these are the builds that I have on them. Starting with Rook, guys. So I have on him the Ghost Captain Sook artifact. I don't even have the exclusive. If I would have the exclusive, wow, okay, the damage would be wow. I have him built on an Aerial Battle Roar set. Of course, we do have Strike the Unprepared Gauntlet. I don't have a full crit rate because I am getting some from the artifact. And basically, I'm getting additional damage when I'm not on full HP. Considering that I don't have the craziest healers in the team, guys, he will definitely not be on full HP for the majority of the fight, I don't have an insane amount of attack or crit damage on him, so with better gear, I could definitely improve the damage quite a bit. Then we have Dargo. He is the one that applies the corrosion for Rook, right? I do have the corrosion artifact, the Swamp Toadstool, another Aerial Battle Roar set, of course, another Strike the Unprepared Gauntlet. And again, he's not on full crit rate, he doesn't have high crit damage or the craziest attack, but he is doing enough to enable Rook to deal so much damage. Now, if you remove Rook out of the equation, and we're talking about corrosion, they are actually weak. They won't be doing much, So I feel like Rook needs to exist. Probably not as powerful, in my opinion. Maybe with a bit of a tweak, But overall, he is definitely very, very solid. This is my third bar with the Witch's Remains, an Ancestral Protection set. We have the Moonlight's Blessing. These are the total stats right here. Nothing too insane, honestly. Then we have Fenja. She is built on a Puppeteer's Inspiration set. I tried to give her as much defense as possible. Unfortunately, I don't have a mythical chest piece for her with Enlightenment to be able to get more healing, but she has the Gatekeeper staff. And then we have Reta, which of course has the Pipe Organ artifact, and we have Moonlight's Blessing set on her. As much attack as possible with accuracy, just to basically increase the damage on my Rook and Dargo. But that's what I have in terms of builds, guys. Let me just quickly show you some crazy teams. Are you guys ready? 1.4 billion, 1.3, 1, 800 million, 816. Now, I'm very curious to see how many of these people actually use teams that do not involve Rook. Because I'm pretty convinced that most of them do. So all of these teams are, of course, with Rook. But let's check the very first top one. So Rook has the exclusive. Of course, he is at inspiration level 1. And this is a solid team. Now, if you have Velocia, you can make some crazy teams for the Vortex with Poison and Ice this season. She is definitely the best support that we have available for this. Then the second one is pretty much the same format. I would assume just a matter of gear, artifacts, you know. That's why he has less damage, but they're pretty close. Maybe a defense down got resisted or something like that. Then this one right here again is the same team. So this definitely dominates. Now, in the previous seasons, the highest damage I've seen was 500 plus million damage from Arsalan, which was my clanmate, and that was with a dauntless team. I'm curious if we are seeing any of them right now. It definitely feels like Rook is everywhere, like literally everywhere. I'm not seeing any other teams that doesn't have Rook in them, you know. Okay, there we go. So we got a Flora team, Arsalan. There you go, talking about him. So a 5 inspiration Flora with everybody else at 5 inspiration deals 292 million damage. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy, just seeing that they have inspiration, the rest don't. This is just a plain simple team, and it's 300 million. So he's beating a fully inspired team. Pretty nuts if you're asking me, you know. There we go, another team. Unfortunately, I'm really not seeing. There we go. I'm here too, number 35. I'm really not seeing any Dauntless teams or anything like that. Seems like definitely Corrosion dominates. Like there's no question in here. You know, there we go. An Ice Blast with 186 million. This is a solid one too. And yeah, it's pretty good damage from it. But I feel like it's pretty hard capped at around 200 plus million based on what sort of multipliers you have for the week. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Without a doubt, the most busted Temporal Vortex team in Dragonheir Silent Gods. I do want to say a big thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys want to get involved, if you want to download the game, you can do so by clicking the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.